Okay, so I have finished my heel flap. A regular sock yarn sock will ask you to do 17, 18 or 16, 17, 18, 19 rows, repeats of row 1 and 2 for your heel flap. In my case, because this is a worsted weight yarn, I only did 10. And a quick way to count and make sure that you're on the right track is by counting these large knit stitches. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's perfect. And then they usually say do one right side row once more. This way we're ready to start our turn heel, looking at the wrong side of our work. And for those of you who have never done a turn heel, it's a series of short rows that we eat up all the stitches all across. So I'll do a quick demo on that right now, just to show you. You have to follow exactly what it says on the pattern. So a lot of the patterns will tell you knit 18 stitches or knit 12 or however many stitches you need to knit, but it's not the full length of your needle. So in my case, I'm just making this up. I'm going to knit 11. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Then they usually say purl 2 together. So you purl 2 stitches together, purl 1, and then they say turn. So even though you haven't finished your row and there is 6 stitches left, it doesn't matter. Just turn your work and start working on the right side. Usually what you need to do now is you slip that first stitch and slip it purlwise. That way you don't twist it. So you slip it purlwise. And then they'll say knit, I don't know, in my case, I need to knit 2, 4, 6. I need to knit 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then they say knit 2 together and knit 1. At this point, you'll have the same number of stitches you had on the wrong side remaining here. So we had 6 and we have 2, 4, 6 here. And the pattern will say turn. So again, we haven't finished, so we turn. Now we're here. Again, I'm going to slip that first stitch, and now I'm going to want to purl, and it's always one number more, like 1 stitch more than what I did. So I had knit 3, now I'm going to purl 4. But another way of seeing how much you need to purl, you see that gap? I want to close that gap, and I'm going to close that gap by purling these 2 stitches together. So I'm just going to go right ahead and purl to 1 stitch before the gap. So I'm here, there's a gap, and there's that stitch before. So I'm going to purl those 2 stitches together. Then I'm going to purl 1 and turn. And the same thing here, I'm going to knit. So that was 4, it should be knit 5. So I would slip 1, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I need to close this gap off. I think I knit 2 together the last time. You don't really want to knit 2 together. Sorry. What you want to do is slip 1, knit 1, and pass a slip stitch over. It gives you a nicer slant of the stitch. I'll show you right now what it looks like. So I'm here, there's my gap. So I'm going to slip 1, knit 1, and I'm going to pass that stitch that I slipped. I'm going to pass it over the one I just knit, and then knit 1. So if you notice in the row below, I don't know if we'll be able to see it, I knit 2 together. So my stitch is going towards the right. It's got a right leaning slant to it. But when I do a slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, it has a left leaning slant, so it looks nicer. So when I'm doing my decreases, they angle outwards, like going outside like this, which looks much nicer. Anyway, so I'm just going to keep doing that until I finish my turn heel, and then I'll pick up my stitches.